Do you think you understand Lobo? Do you think he's just some wisecracking mercenary cruising the galaxy hunting bounties? Then you haven't got a clue about what makes this being so terrifyingly unique. Lobo isn't just a cosmic predator. He's a genocidal maniac who committed the ultimate act of self-preservation, eliminating the only species in the universe capable of killing him. The Zarnians, his own race, were the only vulnerability Lobo had. They were the only beings who could permanently defeat him, the only ones who possessed the biology necessary to bypass his defenses and inflict true death. And so Lobo looked at that and thought, nah, I'm good. He created lethal creatures, unleashed them on his own people, and watched as every last Zarnian was wiped out. It wasn't out of boredom, it wasn't for kicks, it was for pure, calculated self-preservation. When asked why, he replied it was a science project, and gave himself an A. That's not villainy, that's pure logic without an ounce of remorse. He eliminated the only thing that could kill him, making himself literally indestructible. But here's the real horror. After he killed his race, he was banned from heaven and hell simultaneously, not by God or the devil individually, but by both in agreement. He was deemed so chaotic, so brutal, so fundamentally incompatible with any form of ordered existence, that the two most powerful forces in the DC universe made a pact. Nobody wants you. You can't come here, you can't go there, you're gonna stay alive, forever, in a body that can't fail, in a universe that doesn't want him, in an existence that is essentially an eternal prison with no possibility of release. Lobo isn't just immortal, he's functionally immortal in a way that transcends any other being in the universe. Superman can be killed, Wonder Woman can be killed, Batman can be killed, but Lobo can't die because even death doesn't want him. He's so rejected by death itself that death refused to take him. He's living proof that there's a level of chaos so profound that even the cosmic forces of existence and non-existence say, nah, you stay here with us suffering. Now let's break down what that means biologically. Lobo is a Zarnian, and Zarnians evolved on a planet that knew nothing of death, nothing of disease, nothing of conflict. Zarnia was a paradise where life was practically eternal and violence was an alien concept. But within that paradise, an anomaly was born. A being whose biology was so advanced, so resilient, so fundamentally incompatible with death that he became practically indestructible even among his own species. His bone structure is composed of an organic metallic material that can withstand impacts that would pulverize mountains. His muscles manipulate force fields at a subatomic level, allowing him to exert enough strength to crush an entire city into a bite-sized rock and eat it. His skin is a semi-permeable membrane that filters radiation, absorbing only the energy he can use and rejecting the rest. His body is essentially a biological nuclear reactor, burning fuel that no terrestrial science could identify. He can survive in the freezing vacuum of space because his body creates its own force fields. He can survive in a supernova because his skin absorbs radiation and converts it into raw strength. He can survive in any environment because his body doesn't just adapt, it negotiates with the environment, saying, hard pass to the laws of physics and continuing to live. His regeneration is exponential and intelligent simultaneously. A single drop of blood contains the complete instructions to rebuild an entire Lobo. Every cell in his body is a backup of his consciousness, his memory, his personality. If you blow him into 1 billion pieces, each piece has the potential to become a complete Lobo. DC had to nerf this power in certain continuities because it broke the narrative logic of the universe. When he regenerates, his body doesn't just rebuild what was lost. It adapts to the type of damage he suffered. If you burn him, he develops fire resistance. If you freeze him, he develops cold resistance. If you poison him, his body creates antibodies against that specific venom. Every fight makes him stronger, tougher, more lethal. You can't beat Lobo the same way twice because he remembers and adapts. He's also immune to all known diseases, highly resistant to telepathic attacks, and possesses considerable resistance to magic. His saliva and bodily fluids are biologically lethal. He once killed a dude just by spitting in his face. His biological toxicity is so extreme that even his sweat can be dangerous in sufficient concentrations. He absorbs radiation of any type and converts it into pure strength, making him practically indestructible in environments that would destroy any other being. Lobo's mind is where you grasp the true horror of his existence. The Zarnians possessed the same biology, the same resilience, the same potential immortality. They were the only ones who could truly hurt him, truly threaten him, truly kill him. So Lobo made the choice that would define him forever. He eliminated that threat. He created lethal creatures, unleashed them on his own people, and watched as his entire species was exterminated. This isn't villainy, it's pure, unfiltered, remorseless self-preservation. He eliminated the only thing that could kill him, making himself literally indestructible. But here's the real kicker. After he did that, he was banned from heaven and hell, not for killing his race, but because he was so chaotic that even the cosmic forces of death and life said, "Nah, you stay here." He was condemned to immortality as a curse, not a blessing. He can't die. He can't go to the afterlife. He's stuck here, in a body that can't fail, in a universe that rejects him, condemned to an eternal existence of boredom and emptiness. Lobo's psychology is that of a being who discovered that immortality is a prison. He's seen galactic empires rise and fall. He's seen civilizations flourish and vanish. He's seen gods fight and tumble. And he's still there, unchanging, indifferent, waiting for the next moment of fun that will never come. His genius-level intelligence, his ability to build weapons of mass destruction, his fluency in 17,000 languages, all of it is just tools he uses to fill a void that can never be filled. What Lobo wants is stimulation, and he's willing to destroy anything to get it. His word is his bond, not because he has honor, but because honoring contracts is one of the few rules he imposes on himself to give some structure to his chaos. He drinks because alcohol is one of the few things that can affect him. He smokes because smoke is one of the few things that can hurt him. He seeks violence because it's one of the few things that can make him feel something. He's an adrenaline junkie in a body that can never overdose. But here's the paradox that shatters the simple narrative. Lobo is capable of love, genuinely. He has a daughter, crush, Xiomara Rojas, a half-Zarnian who is a member of the Teen Titans. He cares deeply about his space dolphins, to the point of almost wrecking an entire team of heroes when one of them was killed. He's not an emotionless being. He's a being whose emotions function in such a twisted, alien way that they appear as an absence of emotion. He loves, but in a way we don't understand. He protects, but in a way that's more dangerous than destruction. He's capable of sacrifice, but only when it costs him nothing real. Lobo's feats aren't just impressive. They're disturbing because they show someone who literally has no limits. He crushed an entire city, reducing it to the size of a grain of rice, and then ate it like it was nothing. He captured a being made of stellar mass with the weight of a star and slammed it to the ground with ease despite having no leverage. He destroyed an entire planet just by punching someone. He survived being thrown directly into a sun with no apparent damage. He entered a black hole and came out unscathed. He regenerated from ashes, not just blood, proving his regeneration is even more extreme. He killed a dude just by spitting in his face. His saliva is so toxic it's lethal. He created kryptonite bullets to deal with Kryptonians, demonstrating that his genius-level intelligence makes him capable of crafting solutions against any adversary. He used pure math and strategy to outsmart the Flash, someone who moves at incredible speeds. He faced Superman and knocked him out with one punch. It wasn't an epic fight, it was a casual punch. Superman, the strongest man on Earth, was laid out by a punch from a guy who was just messing around. He faced Wolverine in a Marvel DC crossover in 1996 and Wolverine won, but not because he was stronger, it was because Wolverine had something Lobo didn't, a purpose beyond destruction. He faced the Spectre, the literal personification of divine vengeance, and wasn't exactly defeated. He was merely contained temporarily, as if even divine vengeance recognized that Lobo was a problem that couldn't be solved, only managed. He was hired to hunt down and kill Santa Claus. Yeah, you read that right. And depending on the version, he pulled it off. He was a member of Legion, a team of intergalactic heroes, and almost wrecked the entire team by himself when one of his space dolphins was killed. Space dolphins. That's Lobo's soft spot, space dolphins. He's a being who can destroy planets, but who cares deeply about space dolphins? This isn't a weakness. It's a contradiction so profound that it reveals the true nature of Lobo's psyche. But Lobo isn't just a brute force monster. He's an artist. He plays guitar. Literally. While cruising the galaxy destroying everything, Lobo masterfully plays guitar. He has a refined taste for heavy metal and rock and roll, and his space motorcycle, the Space Hog, is equipped with a sound system that blasts music as he travels. Even more disturbing, he has a radio playing heavy metal 24/7 inside his head. His mind is a constant music studio, an endless stream of guitars and beats as he kills, destroys, and roams the galaxy. It's as if the universe created a cosmic assassin and then decided he also needed a personal soundtrack. This combination of extreme brutality with artistic expression is perhaps the most unsettling thing about Lobo. He's not a wild animal without culture. He's a being who appreciates art, who understands music, who has refined taste. And he uses these abilities to make his destruction even more artistic, even more deliberate. Every death is a note in his symphony of chaos. Every destruction is a movement in his dance of violence. He's an artist of the apocalypse, a musician of death, someone who transforms brutality into performance. His motorcycle, the Space Hog model Spazfrag 666, is a masterpiece of cosmic engineering that reflects Lobo's mind. Equipped with a 17-liter engine with triple turbo and full hands-off facility, it can travel at speeds that defy human comprehension. It can operate autonomously if needed, withstands any environment, from the freezing vacuum of space to the heat of a supernova. The Space Hog is so advanced that it's practically a character in itself, a reflection of the chaotic and powerful nature of its owner. His genius-level intelligence isn't just theoretical, it's practical and applied. He created kryptonite bullets, demonstrating he can engineer solutions for any problem. He built the Space Hog, a machine that defies the laws of physics. He's capable of piloting spaceships with mastery, negotiating intergalactic contracts with cunning, and creating weapons of mass destruction with ease. He chooses brutality over subtlety, not out of inability, but out of deliberate preference. Violence is his art form, and ignorance is his most effective disguise. He dresses like a clown so no one takes him seriously, and by the time they do, it's already too late. His fluency in 17,000 intergalactic languages proves he's a cosmic-level intellectual, someone who could be a diplomat, a scientist, a philosopher. But he chose to be a bounty hunter, a destroyer, an artist of death. And here's the final truth that should haunt you. Lobo is the perfect result of a perfect choice that condemned him eternally. He eliminated the only thing that could kill him, making himself literally indestructible. But that victory became his prison, because now he's immortal, functionally immortal, banned from heaven and hell, condemned to an eternal existence in a universe that rejects him. He can't die, he can't rest, he can't find peace. He's a being who chose immortality and discovered that immortality is a curse. The DC universe can't get rid of Lobo because Lobo can't get rid of himself. He's a permanent scar on what happens when you create something perfect and then leave it alive long enough to become its own enemy. Lobo is the anatomy of self-preservation taken to the extreme, the structure of necessary genocide, the physical form of the curse you impose upon yourself. He's the last Zarnian because he killed his race to become indestructible. Zarnia was a paradise, and Lobo was the only being in that paradise who could truly suffer death. So he eliminated that possibility, and now that he's done that, now that he's truly immortal, now that he's been banned from heaven and hell, he's realized a terrifying truth. Immortality isn't a blessing, it's a prison without walls, a death that never comes. He can do anything so nothing matters. He can beat anyone so no one is worthy of respect. He can live forever so nothing has value. Lobo is living proof that absolute power doesn't just corrupt absolutely, it makes you empty, a vacuum in the shape of a being. And he's going to keep existing, killing, destroying, looking for that next moment of fun that will never come until the end of time. Because the end of time can't come fast enough for Lobo. He's waiting. He'll always be waiting, because waiting is all he has left. And while he waits, he plays guitar on his space motorcycle, a soundtrack for eternity.